Nigeria's major political opposition, the People's Democratic Party, has held two high-powered meetings within a space of 8 days. And according to analysts, it's a sign and signal of the urgency with which the party intends to rediscover itself. After 16 years of governance at the national level, the PDP has been enmeshed in a series of crises. After being upended at the February 25th, 2023 presidential elections, the party has been trying to fix its broken pieces. Therefore, a meeting of the national leadership of the party is of high importance. We are now joined by former PDP National Vice Chairman, South-South, Emmanuel Ogidi, for a brief discussion on a series of meetings being held by the party and the efforts at rebuilding the PDP. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you. This wonderful Tuesday. So we know the PDP has been having a series of meetings. We know that the party, even though the word crisis is not something that is a word that you all like to use, but there's definitely some tension and a little bit of confusion within the party. Now that the meetings have been held, can you give us just a brief glimpse at the reconciliation efforts or party rebuilding efforts that the PDP wants to come out with in the next couple of months?
Well, there's not about confusion here. Like in every home, there's a problem here and there. But because we are one of the oldest parties you can think of in Nigeria today, we have our internal mechanism to deal with issues like that. So we're on top of it. In fact, that's why we're getting ready for the election of November in our 3 states, Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa State. So we're good to go.
Now, I remember that we had you a couple of times before the general elections earlier this year, and you said to us a couple of times too that you had, your internal mechanisms for dealing with conflict and all that. But at the end of the day, we saw what played out. The G5 disagreed with the party, they walked against the party, the PDP lost. And of course, even in Edo State now, we can already see the conflict between the governor and his deputy. So what is the PDP doing going forward to win elections?
You see, you saw, like you said, you saw the G5, and what happened to them? Like I said before, there's always a personal interest in this thing, and they have exhibited themselves. Even those who say they had malaria, they don't want to join cancer. Unfortunately, they have gone to borrow cancer into their system. And this is unfortunate what is going on. If somebody can openly, brazenly open his eyes and go for cancer, then you can see that there's something wrong somewhere. We've been managing everybody. We know that APC is trying hard to push into our ranks. It's not easy. When you're fighting against or with your brother, you have to be very careful the part of the body you hit. You have to hit only the part of the body that you can use the cloth to cover. Because if you make the mistake of blinding your brother, when you settle, they will say, oh, look at this man, his brother has one eye. So it's a very delicate situation, so we are managing it. And some of them are also walking out of it for us, so you can see it.
Well, in some families, luckily, they don't even fight. They don't get physical. They just keep things peaceful, and they're still able to move things through. Apparently, the PDP is fighting in places where you can cover up your scars, but we can see what's going on. The public can see exactly what is going on, and it's a little bit disturbing. There's a lot of talk about preserving democracy. We know what the temperature is like in West Africa with these streams of coups coming through. Nigeria seen as the big brother of democracy in the Western Front. It's important that there is some form of opposition, counterbalance to the party of the day, which is APC. There doesn't seem to be a strong counteracting party to check and balance the APC, which could be concerning for the democracy. But in terms of PDP, what are the goals for PDP in the next 4 years? We saw them being humbled. We saw your party being humbled in the National Assembly positions that were meted out, as well as the ministerial list. Could you share with us just a few tidbits of what the next 4 years action plan could be like?
No, when you say we are humbled, we are not really humbled. You see, if you recall, when Buhari was in power for 8 years, he accused the PDP of all their mistakes. This is not Tinubu, whose position we are contested today in court. If you remember the what do you call it? The INEC chairman said go to court. It's a very sad thing, and we're in the court. But you know, every Nigerians know that they regret the whole thing. Even those who voted for BAT, they're regretting it today. But however, I know that the courts will do the correct thing because they too are feeling the pinch. This is bad. This is bad. There's not you can't describe. This is very bad. As we're going forward, like I said, we have our own internal machinery. We set up a campaign council for 3 states, and we are dealing with it quietly. Apart from Bayelsa that is now on the news, where there's a lot of killings and so on. It's rather unfortunate. Recall when I was the zonal chairman, it happened. I was there that night, where the same place there was killing. And the young men came to us that we should arm them, they want to go and retaliate. We said, no, you cannot, we don't want to lose our own blood. Why should we retaliate? So this government, even though we know it's temporary, they should do whatever it takes to restore peace there. And if you want to win election, go to the ballot and win it. You don't have to kill bystanders. People are just watching. What kind of government is this?
Mr. Emmanuel,
you're telling me you go to the ECOWAS and your country is burning?
Yes, Mr. Emmanuel Ogidi, this discussion is actually about repositioning the PDP for future elections, but we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and continue with this conversation. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Newsday. We still have the former PDP National Vice Chairman South-South, Emmanuel Ogidi, with us on Newsday. He's joining us for a conversation on the series of meetings being held by the party and efforts at rebuilding the PDP. Mr. Emmanuel, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, earlier you talked about what's happening in your party being a delicate situation, and I'd like to probe that a little bit further. You know, we understand that some stakeholders within your party do not want the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, expelled, as it may lead to the exodus of some governors, present PDP governors, from the party. So does this mean that there will be no sanctions for anti-party activities?
Look, there will be sanctions, there will be punishment for every culprit when the matter is established. But right now, because we are informed that very soon the judges are going to give their judgment, to us it's a distraction. We need to be focused, our eyes need to be on the ball right now for what is going on. Yes, there's a group looking at it. They will advise us what next to do, but our main focus now is to win at the court, because if you remember, High Court said go to court, so we're already in court. And by the grace of God, we want to win in the court. Then we can deal with every other issues.
Well, can I remind you that you've been in court a couple of times, you know, and it did not actually favor the PDP. So yes. What happens if that's also the case at this time?
We are praying that it will not go that route, because this time it's very clear to everybody. And I'm very sure even you are praying that it goes our way. Because we're all in a big mess. We're completely in a deep, big mess. If nothing is done now, then we're going to have problems. So that's what's going on.
And speaking of the courts, we know that the judges They have reserved judgment on the case that your party has brought, of course, with Atiku Abubakar. Can you give us your opinion on how the tribunal has played out in the last couple of weeks? And of course, you're now saying that you pray that there is a win, but is the PDP preparing for anything other than a win? Would that be a smart move on the PDP's part for a contingency plan?
We're hoping that the court will give us the verdict. But we say we should go back to the pool, we are ready. Whichever we are ready. We believe there are just two options. Either the court will declare us the winner, or they say go back for a rerun. And we're ready for it.
Well, in the case that none of the options apply, how ready is the PDP to be a viable opposition to the ruling APC? For instance, a lot of Nigerians were surprised that none of the PDP senators opposed the nomination of Nyesom Wike or opposed the screening, of Nyesom Wike as a minister at the National Assembly. What more can you tell us about this? Is the PDP actually alive and well to its responsibility as an opposition party?
Somebody who said he had malaria, that he cannot go to APC because there is cancer, and he's your brother. We were managing him in PDP. He said we're not good enough, so he jumped into it to go and get the cancer. So that's good riddance now. So what did you expect a member to say? Don't go? Since he wanted to be minister, then you have allowed him to go. But you cannot serve two masters. Either you serve one or you hate the other. So, it's not PDP's decision for him to go and represent us there. No, he's on his own. So if he's going on his own, do you want us to stop him?
Yes.
He doesn't have to play opposition. Opposition doesn't have to play opposition. We kept quiet, let him go. Then we're going to respond. He has not been sworn again. Why do you want us to respond now?
I think the reason some people would say that a response would be good is because, just like I said earlier, there's this perception that PDP has been completely humbled and ground to a halt. It would give the appearance of some sort of action or spice, of being in the game still. Right now, it seems like PDP, there's a football game and you all are on the bench. And things are very critical right now. And it seems like the only focus is the tribunal, which is a long shot.
It used to be a long shot, but the verdict is going to be given out soon. So why do you want us not to do something when the verdict is just around the corner? We're not humbled at all. I'll give you an example in Delta State. When we wanted to go into our election, this last election, some of the prominent or so-called prominent people left the party. We didn't know we were carrying overload. The moment they left to go to victory. So I think this is also the case. We have a lot of bad eggs in PDP and they're exiting. And you want us to stop them from going away? No. They're exiting. But I can tell you something. Nobody's indispensable in this world.
True. Well, Mr. Ogidi, I'm reading some comments online, and some people are accusing you actually of burying your head in the sand. I mean, if you say the PDP has not been humbled, they're wondering how Nyesom Wike and other members of the G5, Samuel Otom, Okeze, Ikwazu, and others made their way into the Bayelsa campaign council list of the PDP. Isn't this reward for bad behavior?
No. You see, look, until you are found guilty, you are presumed that you're innocent. We will need to listen to whatever they're saying. But the moment they say we don't want to face the panel, then they've gone. We have not considered a panel yet. We have a big picture we're looking at. See, I can tell you something. They will be punished if they remain in PDP. But because we know who they are, they will run away before I get to that. So I'm not burying my head in sand. I'm up. I'm saying victory.
All right.
What do you think they can do? Outside government, nothing.
You were talking about that big picture for PDP, and that's actually what we were trying to, I
Yes.
guess, pull out of you by force or by fire today. But we have run out of time. I'm sure you will have another chance to share with us what the PDP's master plan will be. Thank you.
Definitely,
Of
my
course.
sister.
Thank you so
I
much
want
for
to
joining
thank
us
you for
this
giving us the
afternoon.
opportunity, but also, thank you very much.
Yes, Emmanuel Ogidi, former PDP National Vice Chairman, South. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.